Yoga Day. This day is celebrated on the 21st June of every year throughout the world to give immense importance to yoga. Yoga is a very good form of exercise. It's not just an exercise, it's the unity of mind and body. Yoga assumes significance during COVID 19 and has emerged as a global trend. The theme for International Yoga Day 2021 is Yoga for Well-being. That is, how the practice of yoga can promote the holistic health of each and everyone. With an immense pleasure, I welcome all of you to the International Yoga Day celebration. Before we further advance, let's invoke the blessings of Lord Almighty. I invite Miss Alfonso Sebi for the same.
Father, we sing to your name, wonderful, mighty are you. All of creations with us, shout of your praise. Angels on high, man on earth, things that have life, that have not, rally together to sing. Glory to you, glory to God, and peace to men. Glory to God, and peace to men.
Now, I invite Mrs. Chaitanya KN, lecturer, Luth College of Nursing, to welcome the gathering. Ma'am, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Vijayan KV, beloved Chairman, Dr. KJ Devasya, in his absentia, Dr. Joseph Banavan, Managing Director, Luth Educational Academy, in his absentia, Mrs. Ragi Joseph, Director, Luth Educational Academy, in her absentia, Professor Sendil Kumar T, Principal, Luth College of Nursing, Professor Johnson LK, Vice Principal, Luth College of Nursing, all my colleagues and my dear students. A warm greetings to everyone who are present here. It is indeed a great pleasure to be part of this event. Yoga is a beautiful physical, spiritual, and mental practice that is adopted in India. Nowadays, yoga is gaining worldwide appreciation and popularity. Every year, we celebrate International Yoga Day on June 21st. According to Indian culture, after the summer solstice, the sun becomes Dakshinyan. And June 21st is considered to be the largest day of the year. This is the reason why we are celebrating International Yoga Day on June 21st. As you all know, today we are gathered here to celebrate International Yoga Day 2021 in association with NSS Unit and Student Nurses Association of Luth College of Nursing. On behalf of Luth College of Nursing, I warmly welcome everyone who are present here. I am glad to respectfully and cordially invite our chief guest, Mr. Vijayan KV, an international yoga trainer and a renowned yoga teacher. Even though he's a bank employee by profession, he spends his retirement life with the practice and teaching of yoga. I welcome you, sir. I gladly and respectfully welcome our principal, Professor Sendil Kumar T, who is the backbone of this institution and always encourages, guides, and supports us. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Chaitanya.
I happily welcome Mr. Professor Johnson LK, Vice Principal, Luth College of Nursing, who always works for the betterment of this institution, students, and staff. I welcome you, sir. At last, but not the least, I welcome all teaching staff, non-teaching staff, students, parents, and everyone who are gathered in this event. Once again, I welcome each one of you, and I hope This program will be great success. Thank you.
I also take opportunity to welcome Mr. Manoj Kumar on behalf of Lourdes College of Nursing. Mr. Manoj, you are also welcome.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would like to invite Professor Sendil Kumar T, Principal, Lourdes College of Nursing, for the presidential address. Sir, please.
Thank you. Very good afternoon, everyone. Respectful management, our beloved director, Mrs. Raki Joseph in her absence, my vice principal, faculty team, dear students from first year to the final year, and of course, today's chief guest or the resource person of our program, Mr. Vijayan and Mr. Manoj Kumar from the Art of Living. And again, namaskaram to all. It's a great day, celebrated not only in India, but also around the globe. It's a kind of history for India, since the day was created by India. The Indian culture, the Indian history has been taken to the world level by observing the International Yoga Day. This 21st of June is marked every year to observe as an International Day of Yoga. This year, it carries the theme, Yoga for Well-Being, much relevant for our times in a society still recovering from the impact of the coronavirus disease, that's pandemic. Though we could not meet each other, at least the God has given us an opportunity to virtually celebrate this International Yoga Day in Lourdes College of Nursing in association with NSS and SNA, especially under the leadership of second year BSc Nursing students. I'm very glad and happy to be a part of this observation or celebration. The theme for the International Day of Yoga this year is Yoga for Wellness, a motto aligned to the current preoccupations. As it is an event of global scale, preparations for the International Yoga Day event usually begin 3 to 4 months prior, ultimately culminating in a grand program where millions of people come together to observe the spiritual history and significance of the day, especially which is launched from India. As you all know, this is not only a celebration observed in Lourdes College of Nursing, but also around 192 nations out of 193 nations enrolled as UN members are observing and celebrating this day in 250 cities across 6 continents in the world. Millions of people are participating in the same event. At this juncture, the COVID-19 plight was not just a physical crisis, it also left lasting impacts on mental health, with many left in psychological suffering, depression, and anxiety. Dealing with the pandemic necessitated restrictions and laws. Yoga can come to the help of people dealing with such a crisis. The United Nations explained on its website, since the message of the practice is to promote both physical and mental health. United Nations statement issued earlier last week read, a growing trend of people around the world embracing yoga to stay healthy and regenerated and to fight social isolation and depression has been witnessed during the pandemic. Yoga is also playing a significant role in the psychosocial care and rehabilitation of COVID-19 patients in quarantine and isolation. It is particularly helpful in allaying their fears and anxiety towards this disease and its consequences. The idea for an UN-mandated International Day of Yoga was first proposed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi during his speech at the United Nations General Assembly in 2014. In his speech, Prime Minister Modi has called yoga an invaluable gift of India's ancient tradition and call for the harmony between man and nature through yoga. This initiative was backed by as many as 177 nations, the highest number of co-sponsors ever for any UNGA resolution of such a nature. So as I mentioned earlier, today 192 countries across the globe are celebrating this event, except one country, which is Yemen. Today, another significant happen out of this celebration by Indian government is the Ministry of Ayush joining hands with WHO launched a Yam Yoga app, which is nothing but to fusion the technology with the ancient tradition of yoga. They brought a yoga app to come across all the nations to learn the yoga in their own language. And if you wish, you can download and you can able to practice the simple yoga in your own language. That is called Yam Yoga app, which is released by Ministry of Ayush. This is also need of the hour to address the modern lifestyle. Now we, from the LKG students to even including the college principal, the major problem is everyone's life is now with stress. The stress is not created by somebody from outside, but it is internal of every one of us, because we are all, as I mentioned, working in a modern life. And the problem here with the modern human being is we are unable to balance between the life, work, and mental peace. That's the greatest concern right now. We are unable to balance the life, work, and even our mental peace. So the yoga is the greatest solution, especially for young adolescents like my students. And nobody is there to teach us yoga when we were children and we were adolescent students during our college days. But this is the right time for you to tackle all your future health problems. This is a need of the hour for all my student children, as to learn yoga and keep following up as like one of the morning routine. As you wake up in the morning, you might be brushing up, going to the toilet, or taking a bath. Likewise, the yoga has to become a part of in your life. And I'm sure that you will really realize the inner peace and inner strength to create the positivity from negativity. Also, it says that the yoga will make an negativity to creativity. So in that way, I wish all my students not only being a part of only today's program, but also try to practice simple yoga just to come across all your problems, including physical and mental. And also, I'm sure that that will enhance your study habits as well. So with that, try to adopt yoga in your basic life. And this is a day, at least we could able to create a wonderful message to every one of us of creating an impact onto the society. I must congratulate the second year students for bringing up a wonderful video on related to basic simple steps of yoga, which will be released at the end of this program. Also, I take this opportunity to thank Mr. Vijayan and Mr. Manoj Kumar. They are being always part of our Lourdes College of Nursing for any kind of program organized in relation to with yoga. Even I could say that our first years had 3 days of free yoga program. I hope that they have been enjoyed, but still it is a great pleasure to have them over here for our today's program. So have a wonderful celebration of Yoga Day today. Also, I must congratulate the executive members of Student Nurses Association and NSS for organizing this kind of a beautiful program in our Lourdes College of Nursing banner. Also take a note of the contribution towards by this program by our faculty team, Mrs. Chaitanya and Mrs. Varuna, for their constant, consistent effort for last couple of days. So have a wonderful session today and wish you good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, let me invite our chief guest, Mr. Vijayan KV, International Yoga Trainer, to give an awareness on importance of yoga. Over to you, sir.
I'm extremely glad that all about the importance and relevance of yoga in the present scenario has been very neatly and in a very self-explanatory manner detailed by our dear esteemed principal, Sri Senthil Kumar. I think I have only to take some questions from you. All of the other things I think he has already spoken about the almost about the origin of yoga and the importance of yoga today, and where are all this yoga day is being celebrated, and who promotes which country, how many countries participate. That was wonderful, sir. And you have well read, you keep yourself well read about the present condition. That was excellent. I have extreme pleasure to participate, to be a part of this Yoga Day, International Yoga Day celebration 2021 in association with Talipramba Youth College Nursing College. My memory goes back to a few years, wherein I have taken yoga classes, Shishi yoga classes for the entire batch of this very college, batch by batch. That was in some of your largest classrooms. I used to be there by 9:30, and the students used to be ready in the class, and batch by batch, semester after semester. And I would proudly say, and you can feel proud of it, that this nursing college was the only one in Kerala, in the state of Kerala, which imparted the wisdom, practical wisdom of knowledge of yoga to the entire students of this college. And I extend a great, shabash to this college for that very reason. Yoga, as our principal already mentioned.
Thank you, sir, for your appreciation. Thank you. And I would like to share with some extent that the yoga is connected some way with religion, like it is meant for only for Hindus like that. But I'm telling you that it is not anyway connected with religion. Please go ahead, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, in this connection, the profound, the person who uplifted yoga to today's level, who designed many types of yoga, but all leading to one attainment, the present master, and I am a disciple of that particular master known as Pujya Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. No, there is no area, there is no dimension, there is no place, there is no offices wherein he has not approached and spoken to yoga, spoken about yoga, and explained about yoga. In one of his meetings with chartered accountant, can you hear me? Am I audible to everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead. Yeah.
In one of his interaction with a number of chartered accountants, he was mentioning in a very humorous manner, today the whole world is facing one problem. And three young ladies, three girls are responsible for this, all issues in this world. Three misunderstanding, misinterpretation, and misuse. So, I remember this when our professor mentioned, as principal mentioned, that there is a lot of misconception about the proper understanding of yoga, whether it is related to some religion or not. My dear friends, to start with, we will go ahead with a chanting of a mantra. Let's all sit straight in your seat, wherever you are sitting. Keep your spine straight. Keep a pleasant face. Asato ma Satgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. If you are with your eyes closed, you may gently open your eyes. You know, a proper understanding of this very sloka, this very chanting, includes the entirety of yogic wisdom. Asatoma Satgamaya. May we be led from untruth to truth. Asat means untruth. Truth means, Sat means truth. Asatoma Satgamaya. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Tamas means in Sanskrit, in yogic term, darkness. Jyotir means light. Tamas indicates, tamas is an indicative of ignorance. And light is an indicative of, it's a sign of knowledge, wisdom. And the last part of this chanting is Mrityorma Amrutam Gamaya. Mrityu means the end of everything, death. Amrutam means that which is never ending, which has no end. Anadi and Ananda. So when we do this chanting, the human beings, the mankind makes this chanting a daily practice. What does it mean for man to make a chanting of this nature? We need to go ponder a little deeper into it. Asatoma, Asat. Here we have to understand what is truth and what is untruth. If you look into your own life and just make some observation, you will find everything in this relative world is untruth. Because truth means, the exact definition of truth is that which remains forever and ever and ever. That which has no end, that which does not change. The non-changing aspect, that is called the truth. And untruth, therefore, is everything that changes. Look into your own life, your own personal life, and observe all that changes. Are you the same from the day you were born till today? Is everything around you same? Everything undergoes changes. Everything. Your body, your thoughts, your emotions, your ideas, your calculations, your concept, everything undergoes change. Everything around you, the buildings, the road, the river, the vehicles, people around you, everyone undergoes changes. Nothing remains same. Asatoma Sadgamaya. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Tamas means ignorance. Jyotir means lightness, that which is divine, that which is shining. And let me be led from ignorance to wisdom. Mrityorma Amrutam Gamaya. Whatever is begun has an end. Take it for granted. Whatever is born will die. Take it for granted. So this world, everything has a beginning, everything has an end. And in this background, there should be something which is just opposite to all these factors, that has a beginning, that is darkness, that is born. What is that phenomenal aspect? That is what we need to know. Right from the day you came as a womb, in your mother's womb, the single monosyllable cell, there was life force energy in that single cell. The life was vibrating in that. തുടിക്കുന്ന ജീവൻ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു ആ ഒരു സിംഗിൾ സെല്ലിൽ. ആ ജീവൻ ഇന്ന് നിങ്ങളുടെ ഉള്ളിലും ഉണ്ട്. It has not undergone any change. The life energy which was there in the mother's womb while you were there in a single monosyllable cell, that very life energy is within you right now. You are what you are just because of that life energy. Am I right? Has the life energy not been there in your body right now, you wouldn't be here. You will be horizontally under the ground. So that is Asatoma Sadgamaya. That is truth. That which never changes. As I mentioned, what is untruth? that changes. The life energy, it is pure energy, life energy. Energy can never be distracted, nor it can be finished off. It can change it can transform into different dimensions, but it can never be destroyed. We all have learned it. And life energy is such a pure, powerful energy. It can take different forms, but it can never be finished off. It cannot be put off. It cannot be distracted, destroyed. That is pure energy. So even if the energy drops you, even if that energy, life energy, drops your physical body, which we call dying, that energy remains here. Are you with me? Are you understanding what I'm saying? So you are pure energy. At the same time, you are very momentary. You are anandam. At the same time, you are momentary. When you look at your body, the material world and the body, everything is untruth. It has a beginning, it has an end. But what maintains this as a body, as of now, right now, that aspect has no end, no beginning, no anadi and ananda. Asatoma, that is what is light. That is what is understanding, that is knowledge. Understanding that on an experiential level is knowledge. All others are different from knowledge, not true knowledge. That is why learned people with wisdom say, self-study is the best knowledge. Self-study, if the life in you is what makes you what you are today, that is the case with everybody. It is not different from others. The whole living being has this one life force aspect in their body, in their living being. And that is the same in the case of the entire living being. So once you understand yourself, instantly you begin to feel that others are not different from you. This is the ultimate attainment of yogic understanding. And yoga is uniting yourself with that deepest, the profound aspect of what is called the Atma, or the consciousness, or the life energy, or the prana energy, or the truth, or the light which is within you, or that which has no end, that which has no beginning, no end. So as long as you have that life energy in you, you need to in fact worry nothing. This has not been taken care of. This aspect has not been properly attended to by human beings. So our master says, no, there have been a lot of misconception about understanding yoga. This is for the entire mankind. This prayer is for entire mankind. The life energy is what is all about. This is all what we have to understand, learn, practice on a daily basis with a sense of commitment. So Guruji also says, after making a mention of this, we need to learn, we need to understand the ABC of life. So if you don't know what you are and what is within you and how powerful you are, we have to make beginning to understand it. So he says, we need to understand the ABC of life. Today's people, we know everything about the relative world outside, the material world outside, but there has not been a self journey. And this imbalances causes the entire world. You know about everything. The science is there. At the fingertip, you have the entire hands in your fingers and technologies and computers and major computers and mass computers. But what do we know about ourselves? How your mind functions, how your intellect functions, how your memory functions, how your so-called ego functions, how your breath functions. Do we know about it? It is less like a good car driver understanding about his own engine, functioning of his own engine. If he's wanting to go for a long drive, long journey, a driver or a car owner who is without any idea about the functioning of his engine will be stuck with simple problems. But if he knows how to go about, work about with the problems of the engine on the way when it breaks down, then he can easily get on to the work, do the necessary repair, and proceed his journey. Exactly is the same with our own inner faculties called the mind, intellect, ego, and memory. So beyond this body, there are certain faculties which are responsible for ensuring, determining our level of life, standard of life. There is a beautiful sloka that says, Indriyani paranyahu, indriyebhya param manaha, manasastu para buddhi, yo buddhe parastastu sa. So what we see with our eyes outside our body, that is important, or the organ with which we see. Just imagine, we are seeing a tree in front of you. The tree is important, or the eyes with which you are seeing the tree. It is the eyes, isn't it? You won't be able to perceive the presence of tree there with your eyes if your mind is not functioning. It is the mind that is seeing things outside through your eyes. It is the mind that is hearing sound from outside through your ears. So നമ്മുടെ ശരീരത്തിലുള്ള നമ്മിലുള്ള ഈ 5 sense organs are functioning with one controlling aspect, ഘടകം, that is the mind. Shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandham. The sound, touching with the skin, seeing with the eyesight, tasting with your tongue, mouth, and smelling with your nose. All these are functioning. You can understand, you can perceive them only when your mind is functioning. So mind is one whip hand of all these 5 sense organs. And mind's nature, every one of you knows, it keeps running here and there. It runs to the past, runs to the future. It is never steady. The mind is like a pendulum. It is the nature of mind. It is like that. And we have no control over the mind. As long as you have no control over the mind, my dear friends, my dear students, life is going to be hell. And the moment you have a control of your your life is absolutely normal, very pleasant, a celebration. And who takes care of this mind? It is little more deeper aspect of the mind. It is the intellect. If your intellect is very sharp, that has the control over the mind. Intellect is the one that is holding this whip hand. The mind will have a tendency to run all around, and the whip hand is the intellect. Intellect is the sarathi. So we need to make our intellect very sharp, the mind in our total control, and the 5 indriyas. These indriyas are the body called the ratham. രഥമാകുന്ന പഞ്ചേന്ദ്രിയങ്ങളാൽ പൂട്ടപ്പെട്ടിട്ടുള്ള 5 കുതിരകളാകുന്ന പഞ്ചേന്ദ്രിയങ്ങളാൽ പൂട്ടപ്പെട്ടിട്ടുള്ള രഥമാകുന്ന ഈ ശരീരത്തിൽ മനസ്സാകുന്ന കടിഞ്ഞാൺ, സാരഥിയാകുന്ന ഇന്റലക്ട് മുറുകെ പിടിക്കുമ്പോൾ ശരീരരഥമാകുന്ന ഈ ശരീരം വളരെ വിജയപ്രദമായി മുന്നോട്ട് പോകും. Just for your understanding, quick understanding of your own physical system. And when you have no control over your own indriyas, just imagine your mind is seeing something, it is running behind that. Your intellect is saying, no, it is not good for you. But your mind doesn't listen because mind is not in knowledge. Just that the reason. You are going to do something, some hectic action on the road, throwing stones on the bus, throwing stones on somebody else, throwing stone on a dog. You just saw a dog and you can either throw stone at it or you can do something to save it. That is up to you. You have the freedom. But most people, what do? They throw stones at them. We abuse people. We blame people. We find fault in other people. All these things, behind all this activity of yours in your day-to-day life, there is something called a thought which is arising from your mind. How do you control your mind? This is exactly what yoga does. So your brain becomes very sharp, your mind is taken care of, and the running mind, the wavering mind to the past and future is brought to the center. And the best practical tool to control your mind is breath. That is why the breath is given so much of importance in our life as well as in yogic practices. Our Purva Acharyans, our rishis and seers in the past, tens of thousands of years ago, have left so many powerful, wonderful pranayama techniques which we need to follow, which are being followed even today without any change in that. The pranayama techniques. Pranayama techniques are nothing but breathing techniques, using the present condition of breathing and little bit stretching so that the life energy from our system is able to be available at many more areas in our own body. Right now, you are not able to think properly, probably. You are not able to take to some asanas, be in the asana postures for some time, extended period of time, say for some challenging asanas, because you have pain here and there, you have stiffness over there, you have some other issues there. All these are because those particular suffering parts of your body lacks life force energy. The primary problem for all your present situation, if it is a disturbance to you, it is primarily because of lack of energy in those particular part of your body. And if you take little interest, knowing this consciously, using your breath, do some yogic movements, which are called in yogic languages asanas. Asanas are nothing but moving your particular specific joints of your entire joints of your parts of your body, different parts of your body, coordinated with the breath. And what practically you are doing is you are charging those particular part of your body with life energy. Those cells in those part of your body becomes vibrant with life energy, penetrates into the problematic cells in those part of your body. They become very much alive, healthy, and very, very active and alive. You begin to feel, without even taking medicines, you begin to feel over a period of time, you begin to feel absolutely better. Your own life energy is the best healing agent in your system. Understand this. Just understand this. Using the breath, learning proper yoga, and with the regular practice of yoga, this is the best gift that the world has got from this wisdom of yoga, the yogic therapy. All these are very nice, absolutely needed. The allopathic medicines, doctors, hospitals, but leaving this aspect totally, ignoring it because of ignorance, that is very, very unfortunate, because this is something that attends to your own self. So our master says, the moment you start attending to the self through this yogic practice, self journey, all the virtues in you starts blossoming. Automatically, they find their manifestation instantly without any effort, because you are attending to your source, without which you won't be there. For your mind to work, life has to be there. For your brain to function, life has to be there. For your memory to function, life has to be there. For your ego to function, life has to be there. For all these combinedly, for your whole body to function, you have to be alive. And what are you doing to attend to your life energy? Attending to that life energy is yoga. Uniting with that life energy is yoga. The very word meaning of yoga is uniting, union. Then a oneness happens between your body, your mind, and the soul. And when this oneness happens, you feel absolutely balanced. There is no imbalance. In normal life, you probably think something, you talk something else, and totally differently something you do. This is what happens in this present world. People goes on the stage, tells everyone, oh, I love you, but they may be having different ideas in their mind. How do we know? This is what we see, isn't it? All the issues in the present day world is just because of the lack of this understanding about the self, the proper understanding of yourself. So yoga itself, actually, it is an 8 limbs, the whole world over. The present most accepted yoga today is the 8 limbs of yoga, the Ashtanga yoga or the Patanjali yoga. Like for a great feast, you go, you enjoy that feast. Coming out of the hall, you say, I had a wonderful lunch, I had a wonderful feast with all the different tastes and kinds and all that, isn't it? In the same way, the so-called yoga, Ashtanga yoga, has 8 different aspects of it. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. And do not think all these different aspects has to go at a different time, in a different manner, with different perspectives. No. When a trained teacher, when a master, when a guru guides you through yoga, one single asana, any one single asana, even for 1 minute of yoga, he will have taken you, guided you through all these different aspects of yoga. Though we see people practicing yoga on a physical basis, our outermost personality, individual personality, the outermost aspect of every human personality is the physical body. So we have to start it from the outermost aspect. And out of these 8 aspects of yoga, yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, out of all these, one aspect is the one, only one aspect is related to the body, the asanas. All the other aspects accounts for the deeper understanding, deeper training, tuning of your inner faculties, the mind, memory, ego. So the mind is not any, body is not an important aspect at all with respect to the yoga practice. If you have some problem, if you are aging, if you have knee problem, if you have some injury there, can you practice yoga? Are you fit to practice yoga? You are absolutely fit. Whether if you have a willingness to learn yoga, understand its principle. Yoga is understanding your life energy. That is the most subtlest aspect of your being. The grossest aspect of your mind is your body. The subtlest aspect of your body is the mind. ശരീരം എന്ന ഏറ്റവും സ്ഥൂലമായ അവസ്ഥയുടെ സൂക്ഷ്മമായ അവസ്ഥയാണ് നിങ്ങളുടെ മനസ്സ്. ഏറ്റവും സൂക്ഷ്മമായ മനസ്സ് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ആ പ്രതിഭാസത്തിന്റെ ഏറ്റവും സ്ഥൂലമായ അവസ്ഥയാണ് നിങ്ങളുടെ ശരീരം. Your mind and body are not different. Both these differently looking aspects, രണ്ട് വ്യത്യസ്തമായ absolutely opposite ആയി തോന്നുന്ന ഈ രണ്ട് ഘടകങ്ങളും ജീവിതത്തിൽ വിജയിച്ച് മുന്നോട്ട് പോകണമെങ്കിൽ ഈ രണ്ട് വ്യത്യസ്തത പോലെ തന്നെ വൈരുദ്ധ്യത പോലെ തന്നെ രണ്ട് പ്രിൻസിപ്പിളാണ് ഈ രണ്ട് ഘടകങ്ങൾക്കും ബാധകമായിരിക്കുന്നത്. ശരീരത്തിന് ജീവിക്കാനും ജയിച്ചു മുന്നോട്ട് പോകാനും അധ്വാനമാണ് ആവശ്യം. Effort is the key to success on a physical level, on a material level, on a worldly level. On the mind level, inner level, rest is what is needed. പ്രവൃത്തി ശരീരത്തിന് അനിവാര്യമാണ്, അധ്വാനം അനിവാര്യമാണ് വിജയിച്ച് മുന്നോട്ട് പോകാൻ. മനസ്സിന് അനിവാര്യത, മനസ്സിന്റെ താക്കോൽ ജീവിതത്തിന് വിജയിക്കാൻ പ്രശാന്തതയാണ്, വിശ്രമമാണ്. രണ്ട് ഓപ്പോസിറ്റ്. ഇന്ന് ലോകത്തിൽ ഒട്ടുമുക്കാലും ആളുകൾ ജീവിക്കുന്നത്, മുന്നോട്ട് പോകുന്നത് നേരെ വിപരീതമാണ്. ഈ ശരീരം കൊണ്ട് വേണ്ടതുപോലെ പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്നതുമില്ല. The body which is for working, different limbs of your bodies are for to do activity in this world, which people do not do. What is to be done at which time, to what extent, people don't do. They go lazy, they think others will do it for them, and with the mind they do all the activities. Whether I should do that or I should do this, how much I should, I will not do this, he will do that, I will do it, this thing, that thing. All the thought with activities goes in the mind, and your mind is working, your mind is in great effort, which causes automatically you become a victim of what is called tension. Tension is nothing other than in disagreement with either a person or a situation or an object around you. It is the ultimate definition of tension. What is tension? Somehow, for some reason, you are not in agreement with either a person around you, maybe your superior, maybe your dear ones, maybe your neighbors. You are not in agreement for some reason, not in agreement with some objects around you, not in agreement with some situation around you. that immediately you are overruled by what is known as tension. And this tension releases, drains off the energy from your system, the so-called wonderful energy, without doing anything. Our master says, if you want to test this, just sit for a while, few minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and think about yourself. What I can gain, how I can pull him down, what I can gain, how great I can become, how much I can earn. Keep thinking about yourself for a few minutes and you will be absolutely tired, exhausted. And just reverse. Start thinking about what I can do for others. That very moment, you find an expansion of consciousness. You find an elevation of consciousness. You find you are all around. You find you are everywhere. You find, you feel and experience the bigness in you. That is the meaning of the word itself. Guru. Guru. A guru, master means bigness. Laghu Guru. You might have heard that. Earlier we used to be taught, Vyakaranam, grammar in our school. Laghu, opposite is Guru. You will be given a poem. You will say, they will say, divide it, factorize it into Laghu and Guru. If you say A, it is Laghu. If you say A, Ama, A is Guru. A is Laghu. So likewise, what is bigger is Guru, what is small is Laghu. And here in Sanskrit term, Guru means something that is unmeasurably large, immeasurable. That is the meaning of Guru, the true meaning of Guru. And when this inner aspect of personality, inner wisdom, that life energy in you, when every cell in your body is energized with life energy, when you become very, very dynamic, the Guru principle in you shines forth. It finds its manifestation through what is called this physical body. That is all. There is nothing other than that. So, my dear friends, so today, before we come to an end, no, we can keep talking. So nice to talk about yoga. I have just focused on the true translation of this, chanting only. If you talk about yoga, because that aspect in you is everywhere, all time with us, everywhere. That is what is responsible for everything. You can attach that with everything. There is nothing without that consciousness, isn't it? So there is no end to it. We will just do a beautiful breathing technique here that connects us with the outer world and the inner self. Okay, let us sit straight, everybody. Sitting straight, keeping your spine straight with a smiling face. Take a natural breath in and breathe out. If your breath is a thread, imagine your mind is a kite. Control of your breath allows you to have total control of your mind. Take another long, deep breath in and breathe out completely. Now we will do 2 or 3 times what is known as full yogic breathing. It is nothing but just stretching the breath breathing that you have done just now. Make it little more longer. You experience its presence, its journey, right from your clavicular bones until your abdominal area. See, the entire frontal region of our body slowly moves, expands, uplifts a little bit, moves outwards, and inflates like a balloon. And as you breathe out, just let go naturally. We'll do it 3 times, full yogic breathing. Keeping our eyes, we will do this just 3 times. Eyes closed. Take a normal breath in once again and breathe out. Now in full yogic breathing, you may continue on your own with total awareness of your own breath, entering your body like a true friend of yours. Just observing all the little movements around your chest region, stomach region, abdominal area. And when you feel fullness of your inhalation, slowly breathe out, effortlessly breathing out. 1 round of complete yogic breathing completes here. Continue 2 more times, full yogic breathing. enjoying every bit of your breath, treating your own breath as a true friend, an intimate friend. Last time, full yogic breathing. Observation. Observe the little inflation movement of your entire frontal region. And as you now breathe out, you may slowly open your eyes. Now, it has been seen scientifically through experiments. In the normal way of life, we are utilizing just about 35 to 40% of our lung capacity. And more than 90% of our waste toxins from our body has to be expelled through breath. And imagine how much toxins, unwanted stuff we are accumulating in our own, this system called body every moment, every second. And pranayama techniques trains your lungs, retrains your system to inhale, take in more oxygen, energize your entire system in its totality. During 4 days training period, I will tell you, this capability of your potential of your lungs can be increased to more than 70%. This is the primary reason why breathing technique is given so much of importance in our yogic practices, which we normally neglect. We normally say, oh, ശ്വസിക്കാൻ പോലും സമയമില്ല. But ശ്വസിച്ചില്ലെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ജീവിക്കാൻ സാധിക്കില്ല. Healthy life, you need to practice proper learning, proper breathing. And breathing has, using the breath, 4 വിധത്തിൽ നമുക്ക് നമ്മുടെ ശ്വാസത്തെ ഉപയോഗിക്കാൻ സാധിക്കും. പ്രാണായാമം പഠിക്കുമ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ ഇതൊക്കെ പഠിക്കും. അതിന്റെ ഒരു ക്ലൂ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് തരാം. ഇൻഹലേഷൻ, സംസ്കൃതത്തിൽ പറയും യോഗിക് ഭാഷയിൽ പൂരക, inhalation. We also exhale, rechaka. And we have the power, we have the capability, potential to hold the breath. Holding the breath either inside, which is antar kumbhaga, and outside, bahar kumbhaga. So we can either hold the breath inside or hold the breath outside. And you gain power on your breath by practicing this kumbhaga pranayama. Then you increase the strength of your lungs, the respiratory muscles, and over a period of time, when you practice this breathing, different breathing techniques, you automatically gain respiratory muscle strength, and you are able to hold the breath for any longer period of time. And I can tell you, whether you believe it or not, my master, Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, has the power. Like him, so many yogis, they can hold their breath for hours. They are just not ordinary people that we see, but their inner power and inner strength, the play they do with their own life energy is something immaculate, something inexpressible. So you can feel proud of such masters present in our country, in our world, this world today. I think I will come to an end with this. And all that I can guide you after this today's speech on yoga is, we have the training extended for everyone on yoga, which is called the Sri Sri Yoga. And we are starting in connection with this yoga day. We are starting all Kerala basis Sri Sri Yoga for a 4 days, 2 hours program. And from commencing from this 24th of this month, 24, 25, 26, 27, in 4 batches every day. Morning 5 to 7 batch 1, 8 to 10 batch, 5 to 7 in the evening, and 8 to 10 in the night. So these 4 batches of 2 hours each session, the name of which is Sri Sri Yoga, and for which we charge a very moderate amount, that is 600 rupees. Everyone can participate in this coming program in this. And please come and experience this yogic wisdom on an experiential understanding. I sincerely invite you for this program, and this has been designed specifically keeping in view of this International Yoga Day. Okay, this is exactly the course that I have taken. That was then 5 days program, 2 hours each day. Now online, we find certain programs in this 4-day program. 5-day program is dropped because of this technical 4-day online problem. So it is reduced to 4 days in 2 hours time. And you are all invited, and we'll be sending a link to your authorities. Okay. That is what I can add. And once again, I extend my own wife, who is a teacher, and my co-teacher Manoj also extend our warm gratitude, very loving gratitude, deep gratitude to the Louth College authorities, Principal Senthil sir, and other faculties and other authorities of this, the administrative authority as well, for having organized and invited me for this wonderful program on such a particular, such a beautiful, auspicious day. I end by wishing you all the very best of luck in life. May your fortune so unfold that even if you're holding stones in your hands, may they turn into gold. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you so much.
That was so informative, sir. Thank you so much for spending your valuable time with us. Sun is a reminder that we too can rise again from the darkness, that we too can shine our own light. Yoga is the light, which once lit will never dim. The better your practice, the brighter your flame. Now it's time for the video release. Sir, with your permission, can we release the video?
Sure, please go ahead. That was a wonderful act, wonderful gesture of, on this particular yoga day, releasing a video, yoga video.
The International Yoga Day has been celebrated annually on 21 June since 2015. A certain day for yoga was introduced to raise awareness worldwide about the importance and the impact of yoga on the health of people. The term yoga is derived from Sanskrit word yuga, which means to unite, representing the unifications of prayer and consciousness. Today we are going to see how to perform Surya Namaskar, a famous asana in yoga. It's also known as Ultimate Asana. The Surya Namaskar consists of 12 independent positions. We are going to see each and every one of it. The first asana, Namaskar Asana. Stand upright facing the sun. Next, place the hand at the chest in Anjali Mudra. Breathe evenly. Let's focus be on the center of the chest. Remember, breathe in through the nose. The benefits of this asana, they helps to being balanced in posture, calm mind, relaxation in the spine. The second asana, Hastottanasana. Breathing out, straighten and stretch your toes backward within the hand over the head as far as possible. Hold for 2 counts. Breathe in and straighten the body and keep the hands up. Let's focus be at the tip of the thumb. The third asana, Pada Hastasana. Breathing out, bend the toes forward at the wrist so the hand rests near to the feet. Push the head as close to the knee as possible. Let's focus be at the open space gaza and hold for 2 counts. The fourth asana, Ashwa Sanchalasana. Breathe in using the hand to take the weight of the body. Stretch one leg as far as possible. In a sliding motion without leaving the floor. Stretch the leg so that the thigh of the knee leg press the chest. Breathe out as you stretch the toes. Neck backward, hold for 2 counts. 5th asana, Palangasana. Breathe in and take your left leg back. Bring your whole body in a straight line. The 6th asana, Hastanga Namaskara. Gradually bring your knee down to the floor, then exhale. Slightly take your hip back and slide forward. Relax your chest and chin on the ground. 7th asana, Bhujangasana. Slide forward and rest your chest up into the cobra pose. Keep your elbow bent and fixed in this pose. The 8th asana, Pravattasana. Breathe out and lift your hip as well as your tailbone up. Put your chest downwards to create an inverted V pose. 9th asana, Ashvasanchalasana. Breathe in and bring your right foot forward in between the 2 hands. Bring your left knee down to the ground. The 10th asana, Padahastasana. Breathe out and bring your left foot forward. Keep your palm on the ground. You can lean and bend your knee if you feel some discomfort. 11th asana, Hasta Uttanasana. Breathe in and roll your spine up. Make your hand go up and bend backward a little bit. Push your hip slightly outward. The 12th asana, Pranamasana. Breathe in, bring your palm together, facing each other parallel to the chest. The health and the benefits of yoga are helps to lose weight, glowing skin, better digestive system function, ensure regular menstruation cycle in women, brings down the blood sugar level, improves the anxiety state, and helps to remove depression.
Thank you, the second years, for the wonderful presentation. Now we have come to the end of the program. I request Mrs. Varna Padmajan, Nursing Tutor, Luth College of Nursing, to deliver the vote of thanks. Ma'am, please.
Guys, sorry for the interruption. Any questions from our Mr. Vijayan sir from student side? Please, it's time to have an interaction at least.
Yeah, that's right. If anybody has any question, any doubts, any clarification,
any query, anything upon yoga, you can ask, because this is right. Yeah, this is the right platform. As sir said, like we need an energy, inner energy, life energy. That is what we are missing actually. So we need to get some kind of energy. That makes us to open the camera and open the mic and to come out. If you don't open up, then there is no life energy along you guys. So we need to, our life has to be run on with some kind of energy within us. Then only the day will move on, the life will move on. Even your course of BSc nursing will move on. So if you have any questions, please come forward. I know especially the first years have a very good interaction with Mr. Vijayan, but of course it's a chance for every one of us to ask some questions in this platform. Please come forward.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, Evangeline, you are most welcome. Please raise your question.
Sir, myself Evangeline, third year BSc nursing student. Sir, I have a doubt. Can I practice yoga during menstruation?
Sir, your mic is mute, please. Vijayan sir, your mic is mute.
Can you hear me now? Can you all hear? Yeah. So that's a good question. the answer of which may be needed for all of you, all you girls, isn't it? There is no hard and fast rule on continuing with your yogic practices while you are in your periods, unless you have some specific issues like excessive bleeding, some pain or some discomfort during the periods. During then, you need to do some light asanas. There are some challenging asanas, some light asanas, and even in breathing techniques, there are some hard breathing techniques like Bhastrika and Kapalbhati. You can avoid those. But like, you know, the full yogic breathing we did, light, which are called the Sukshma Vyayams, light exercises, like yogic exercises, movements, meditation. There is nothing wrong in doing it. You can definitely do asanas even while you are in your periods. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, I'm Alina from third year BS Nursing. Sir, will practicing yoga which helps to relieve the menstrual cramps or it causes worsening it?
Irregular menstrual cycles becomes natural and regular with regular, proper continuous practice of yoga. There is no doubt about it. Absolutely no doubt. If you have any specific problems, you need to go to the doctor. If you have any, any tissue problems or organ problems or any other scientific problems regarding to the with regard to the issues. Otherwise, the entire system, in fact, the practice of yoga directly impacts your nervous system. And it is the nervous system that takes care of all the other your organ systems in your body. You have the muscular system, you have the bone system, you have the immunity system, you have the blood circulation system, you have the air respiration system, you have the reproductive system, you have the excretory system, you have the urinary system. All these different systems, different functions of your body, different, they are all functioning differently all the time, isn't it? And unless there is a coordination, perfect harmony between all these different functioning of your body, you can't remain healthy. And yogic practices brings a perfect harmony, balancing between all these differently functioning organ system. Just try it out for a week and see the experience is benefit yourself. It is a perfect harmony between this body. It's a precious mechanism. What all things are happening in this body, can you ever imagine? You can't imagine. Your heart is functioning even if your brain is dead. Brain death സംഭവിച്ചു എന്നാലും മനുഷ്യൻ ജീവിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നു വർഷങ്ങളോളം എന്ന് പറയാറില്ലേ നമ്മൾ. ബ്രെയിനിൽ നിന്നും ഓരോ നെർവ്സിലേക്കുമുള്ള കണക്ഷനാണ് നമ്മളെ യഥാർത്ഥത്തിൽ എല്ലാ സെൻസേഷൻസും ഫീലിംഗ്സും ഒക്കെ ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്നത്. നമ്മളൊരു സൂചി നമ്മുടെ ശരീരത്തിന്റെ ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു ഭാഗത്ത് കുത്തിയാൽ നമ്മൾ ഉടനെ എന്ന് പറയും. Yes or no? What is happening actually? So electrical circuit in your body, the neurons, and without this nerve supply from the brain, your heart still functions for years. Who has made all these wonderful instrument, machine in your system? Even if the brain is not functioning, you are not knowing anything in this world. You can't feel the touch, you can't feel the taste, nothing, no sense organs are functioning. Yet your heart functions. It beats. There is vibration. The life is still there. Can you imagine? You are a wonderful person. You are the most wonderful person on this planet Earth. This is the message. Thank you for that question. This is the wonderful message to every one of you. Feel the amazement about yourself. Each human being is the most wonderful, amazing aspect in this planet Earth. Very good. Anybody else?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Myself, Jasna TS, third year BSc nursing student. Sir, is there any yoga to increase our body weight?
Do Surya Namaskar. Minimum to start with 5 rounds of Surya Namaskar every day. And do certain specific asanas that, that is associated with your hip joint, like Pavanamuktasana and Titliasana, the butterfly postures. And if you can sit in Padmasana, start learning Padmasana and be in Padmasana with Kapalbhati Pranayam. That's why I'm inviting you for our forthcoming course, wherein all these things can be learned and practiced, undoubtedly your weight can be reduced. You can become very, very slim. You can banish your stress. You can breathe for vitality. You can cure ailments. You can develop fit and beautiful body. You can improve your mental peace. You can eat well and wisely. You can improve the strength, stamina, and endurance of every part of your body. That is for granted.
Just now, in relation to your question, I would like to contribute something like, the yoga is much popular in abroad countries than India. The abroad, especially the women, they are much bothered about their belly fat. But in India, most of our women are not bothered about their belly fat, including men. I'm not saying women, including men, because which is having a much of most of the disease risk actually. But like the main reason abroad is they always look like to be in jeans pant and a t-shirt. The belly fat could obstruct their way of pattern of their dressing. But in our country, it is a right time, at least you guys especially, to bother some extent to make yourself healthier. It's not about the beauty, but as Mr. Vijayan sir said, like ultimately just keep yourself, slim and fit will enhance the rest of the mechanism of your body and mind. Thank you. That is why the yoga is most popular, attracting more popular among the foreigners than Indians.
My dear friends, I have started my yoga practice in the year 2000 while I was 51. Myself and my son, elder son, who was then in 12th standard, did together. And from the first hour of the first day's class, some chord in me struck. This is something supreme. This is something. Till then I was in the Navy, worked in Navy as an engineer. I had also worked in bank for 20 years. And my lifestyle absolutely transformed from the day one of my first course on March 7, 2000. And ever since, I have been into some sort of yogic practice, reading some books of some masters, reading our spiritual scriptures, understanding, going more and more deeper into my own self. Yoga is for Atma Vishuddhaye. Yoga ചെയ്യുന്ന എന്തിനു വേണ്ടിയാണ്? നമ്മുടെ സെൽഫ് പ്യൂരിഫിക്കേഷന് വേണ്ടിയാണ് യോഗ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. The body, beautiful body is guaranteed. Take it for granted, provided you have a commitment. Anybody else?
Good afternoon, sir.
Go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Myself, Jishnu C. from third year BSc Nursing. So my question is there is any relationship between yoga and spirituality and celibacy? Sati means brahmacharya.
Yes, there is very, very closeness between yoga and spirituality. Here you have to understand what is spirituality. It is the spirit that is in you, that is the cause of everything. It is the Brahma Tattvam. It is the life energy. That life energy is nothing but spirit. When you are in happiness, when you are in joy, what do you say? I am in high spirits. Don't you say? The spirit is what is known as the life energy. Understanding that spirit is spirituality. It is so simple, my dear friend. Understanding, becoming one with that spirit within you is spirituality. And everything other than that is material. So, Atmiyada, Bhaudigada എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് രണ്ടും നിങ്ങളുടെ തന്നെ രണ്ട് ഭാഗമാണ്. നിങ്ങളെ മറന്ന് നിങ്ങൾ ഈ ലോകത്തിലേക്ക് മനസ്സിനെ കടത്തുമ്പോൾ, മനസ്സിനെ ലോകവുമായി ബന്ധിപ്പിക്കുമ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾ ഭൗതികവാദിയാകുന്നു, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഭൗതികമായി തീരുന്നു. അതേ മനസ്സ് നിങ്ങളിലേക്ക് തിരിഞ്ഞ് നിങ്ങളിലെ ഈ ആത്മീയ ബലം, നിങ്ങളുടെ കോൺഷ്യസ്നസ്, നിങ്ങളുടെ ശക്തി, നിങ്ങളുടെ ജീവൻ, നിങ്ങളുടെ പ്രാണശക്തിയുമായി യോജിക്കുമ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾ ആത്മീയതയിലേക്ക് കടക്കുന്നു. ഇവ രണ്ടിനെയും ഒരു കോയിന്റെ രണ്ട് ഭാഗം പോലെ നമ്മൾ ഒരുപോലെ കണക്കാക്കാൻ പഠിക്കേണ്ടിയിരിക്കുന്നു. ഒന്നിനെ വിട്ട് മറ്റൊന്നിലേക്ക് മാത്രം നിൽക്കുമ്പോൾ a total imbalance. This is exactly what is happening today. We know everything about the world outside. You know nothing about the spirit within you. And spirituality is more important than materialism. Okay. And what else was the question? Brahma Tattva, Brahmacharya. Brahmacharya means it is moving in the Brahma principle, Brahma Tattva. And the life energy, the prana energy which is in you is the same energy that is available, that is prevalent in the other person also. So the whole living being in this entire universe is filled with this life energy. And that entirety is called Brahma in Sanskrit or in yogic language. So that aspect within your individual body is called the Jiva. And when this Jiva unites with the Brahma, the entirety of life energy, the vibration in the whole universe, that itself dissolves into Brahma Tattva. And moving in that Brahma Tattva is Brahmacharya. It is not, like I first said, misunderstanding. Brahmacharya is considered to be celibacy, without marriage, without enjoying the life, living a very, very solitude life is generally understood as Brahmacharya. It is not. Brahmacharya means moving in that principle. You are Brahma. You are the ultimate truth. Adil amarni ninnukondu ee വ്യത്യസ്തതയും വൈരുദ്ധ്യതയും അപകടവും കുഴപ്പവും എല്ലാ മോശങ്ങളുമുള്ള ഈ ലോകത്തിലൂടെ പുഞ്ചിരിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ജീവിക്കാനുള്ള ഒരു കഴിവിനെയാണ് സ്പിരിച്വൽ ലൈഫ് ഇല്ലെങ്കിൽ നോളജ് ലൈഫ് വിത്ത് വിസ്ഡം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. That is Brahmacharya. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Are you clear?
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, there is any yoga to increase our body weight?
Increasing the body weight, I wouldn't suggest. Increasing the body weight as you practice, as your diet is becoming proper, uniform, good, and healthy. Automatically, the inner power in you, that aspect in you, will make sure what is needed to what extent. It is not in your hands simply. Increase your weight or decreasing your weight and all that. It can't happen if you just have an idea. When you attend and do yoga practices, that will give you the required weight and all the other wisdom, knowledge, everything, because you are attending to that self. Once you attend to that self, that will make sure how much is wanted, where, and to what extent. Okay. And also, I can also tell you, start improving your diet habit. Eat well. If you are doing a lot of work, so much of work, tiring your body, exhausting your body, reduce all that to some extent. Have good relaxation. If you are not sleeping at all, you will reduce your weight and you will reduce your body weight and body size. Start increasing your sleep hours. If you are not doing all that properly, automatically the reverse will happen, isn't it? Taking care of your body in a systematic, balanced manner. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Good afternoon,
Take
sir.
more fat. You all know it, isn't it?
Just now try to maintain a normal body weight, not like decrease body weight or increase body weight. Let us maintain a normal BMI, body mass index. That is
what is important is, yeah, what sir said is correct. What is important is just feel how much alive you are. Are you healthy with the present condition? Are you alive and dynamic? If you are alive and dynamic with this life energy within you, are you able to keep a smile on your face all through? Then I can tell you, you are with the perfect body weight. You are the most beautiful person.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Hello, sir. I'm
Yeah.
Abarna, third year business. In which age we can start practicing yoga, sir? Is it able for children performing yoga?
You know, if you look at children, just 1 year old, 2 year old, if you ask them to sit in Padmasana or Vajrasana, they will jump into action. There are yogas specifically designed for children, which is called the play yoga. There we don't teach all these, values and മൂല്യങ്ങൾ ഇതൊന്നും പഠിപ്പിക്കാതെ അവരെ കളിപ്പിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് നമ്മൾ യോഗ പ്രാക്ടീസ് ചെയ്യും. ഇന്ന് രാവിലെ എനിക്കൊരു അനുഭവം ഉണ്ടായി. ഇവിടെ യോഗ മറ്റൊരു ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ടുമായിട്ട് നമ്മൾ ബന്ധപ്പെട്ടിരുന്നു. നമ്മുടെ അടുത്ത ഫാമിലിയിലെ ഒരു കുട്ടി രാവിലെ 5 വയസ്സുള്ള ഒരു കുട്ടി യോഗ പ്രാക്ടീസ് ചെയ്യാണ്. പത്മാസനത്തിൽ ഇരുന്നു കൊണ്ട് മലർന്നു കിടന്നുള്ള സൂക്ത പത്മാസൻ, മലർന്നു കിടന്നുകൊണ്ടുള്ള
Sir, excuse me, sir. Sir, the program is scheduled till 3:30.
Yeah.
Now, shall
Yeah,
we continue with other?
you can end any time. So my last answer to this question. So there are programs specifically designed program, but you need to take those training from a truly trained master. For children, there are programs, different programs. They are called the, I Am the Sky, there is a program, and child's play yoga, there is program. For all classes, right from children to any people of any age. Because it has to do with our own body, breath, and mind, nothing else. So there are programs.
Thank you, sir. And I think today third years have a good life energy after kind of words from Mr. Vijay. And I don't know whether about the rest of the batches, but I know all you have questions. It's a time is out for us now. And thank you for all my children have a patient listening of the Yoga Day celebrations. And sir, if you don't mind, shall we move on to the winding up the session?
Sure. Let's all together say one word before we end up. Everyone can raise your right arm. If you all have, shown your camera, come in your pack, just raising your right arm. Let us all, shout out in one word. Sangha-chatvam. Sangha-chatvam. Once more. Sangha-chatvam. This means simply, let's move together. Chanting this word also finds its place in our Indian Constitution. So let's move together with a smiling face, with this deep wisdom of yoga in our mind, and willing to learn it on a practical basis from a trained teacher. All the very best. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Mrs. Varuna Padmajan, nursing tutor, Luth College of Nursing, to deliver the vote of thanks. Ma'am, please.
Thank you, Teresa. Good afternoon to all. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. Let me first of all start by giving glory to the Almighty God for making today's occasion a resounding success. On behalf of Luth College of Nursing, I thank our chief guest, Mr. Vijayan KV, international yoga trainer, who despite his busy schedule has found time to grace this occasion. Thank you, sir, for this wonderful session. It was so informative. I also thank Mr. Manoj Kumar P. Thank you, sir. I extend my sincere thanks to our principal, Professor Senthil Kumar P, for taking interest in arranging such a wonderful session and also for constantly motivating and inspiring us. Thank you, sir. Next, I thank our vice principal, Professor Johnson LK, for the support and guidance. Thank you, sir. Special gratitude to second year BSc nursing students and faculty for organizing this program. At last, but not the least, I thank all the faculty and students of Luth College of Nursing for being a part of this program and making it a successful one. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
And it is just a note that first years your class starts at 3:45. Okay, please note. Thank you.
The special compliment to that video release, okay? Surya Namaskar video release. That was wonderful. Keep it up.
Once again, I thank everyone who gathered here and made this occasion auspicious. Thank you all.
Bye-bye.